assessment of how you think you played today?
I thought I played well. It was a tricky match. He's played well this year. He's had a few good tournaments, and here also some good wins. And yeah, he's a tough guy to play against. Very unorthodox style. He has a very, very good backhand cross court. It hits it very low over the net, very flat. So he can rush you, take your time away, and he's also got, most players now on the tour on the forehand side have quite big swings to generate a lot of, top spin, racket head speed, whereas he plays a very short swing and times the ball really. So he quite likes pace. So it's getting that balance of not giving him the pace, but also if you leave the ball short or don't hit a good enough shot, he's obviously very talented, so can come in, behind any short balls. So I thought I did a good job against a tough opponent.
Andy, does the change in the amount of running room between Stadium 1 and Stadium 2 affect game, tactic, anything at all?
Running room?
Yeah, in terms of the green space around the court and just being able to, there's so much of it on Stadium 1.
Yeah, I think it feels like on Stadium 2 that it gets tighter at the sides, but at the back of the court it feels like there's actually quite a long way. But yeah, I mean, all courts play differently. That the setup of the stadium is different, so the wind will be a bit different. The acoustics are different in there. It feels like the court's kind of sunk down a little bit as well. So yeah, it definitely plays different to the centre court and feels different.
Andy, can I get your reaction to Wayne Ontisic's 15-year suspension today? That seems to be one of the longest in the history of the game.
Yeah, and I think probably deserved as well. I think it's a good thing. Obviously, in those situations, that's not the first time. And I think from what I read, I haven't read everything about what's happened just now, but I believe two separate samples, which is two failed tests really. So they should be treated as individual cases. They were, I think, quite a few weeks apart as well. So he clearly was taking something and trying to gain an advantage. And yeah, after what happened the last time, whatever story you believe, the one that was given, I don't I don't believe at all. And yeah, I think it's good for tennis to get him off the tour and away from the tour, because we don't want that being part of the tour.
Do you feel these people are cheating your sport, making it look bad?
Well, that's what cheats do. Yeah, it looks bad on everyone else. The anti-doping controls have got stricter. I believe over the last few years, I would say we're doing a lot more than what we were. I certainly feel like I'm getting tested a lot more than I was. Many out of competition blood tests from the ITF and also the UK anti-doping as well. And yeah, look, I want to say for myself, I feel like it's an inconvenience getting woken up at 6:30 in the morning, but if it gets people that are cheating out of the sport when they're doing it, then I'm all for that.
Right. And just getting back to the match, do you get any extra information from Amélie when it comes to playing a French player?
No, I mean, certain French players that she would know would be mainly the older ones that she would have seen playing when she was on the tour. Some of the younger French players, she wouldn't know loads about them. Obviously, she has, contacts and people within within French tennis that will know their games. But the best thing I find to do is always to try and get kind of recent videos, recent footage, and actually, give the information yourself rather than taking it from someone else and passing it on. I always think it's good to come up with your own game plan and let the player know the things that you see rather than having it come through someone else. I think is better.
Andy, just back to Desnick for a second. Neither time that it was fought, it was sort of a tennis test. The first time it was the Australian, it was at the airport in Australia. This time it was the US anti-doping agency. Does that sort of say anything?
I didn't hear the first part. The first time it wasn't what?
Both times that Desnick's been fought,
Yeah.
it hasn't been a test administered by a tennis authority.
Okay.
Last time it was at the airport in Australia. This time it was the US anti-doping
Yeah.
agency. Does that sort of say anything about maybe the tennis testing not being stringent enough?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I think I know for myself when I'm back home that I get tested out of competition a lot from UK anti-doping. In the UK, I think we have very strong anti-doping policies. So I don't think that necessarily means that tennis is doing a bad job. I think it's also a responsibility of the national sort of governing bodies for sport to also help. As well, you want the athletes from your country to be clean. So whether it comes through UK anti-doping, USADA, ITF, whoever, for me doesn't matter so long as they're getting caught. And I would say that the more out of competition testing is probably done through the UK anti-doping or US anti-doping, the sort of national doping authorities rather than the ITF. That's my feeling. A lot of the sort of in competition tests that we do are carried out from through the ITF. That's how it seems to me anyway.
And is there one thing you've been doing on court this week you're particularly satisfied with, and what do you think about playing Lopez now?
I think I've made it difficult for my opponents in all of my matches, and that's important. I haven't given up too many free points. I've made a lot of returns in play. I feel like I've moved well, and I've been hitting the ball quite heavy from the back of the court, so it's not been easy for my opponents to attack, which has been good. And then against Lopez, I mean, I've got a good record against him, but he's always a tough opponent because of the way that he plays and the way that he serves, and he's also still improving. He's been playing the best tennis of his career these last 18 months or so, and obviously had a great win today against Nishikori. And I think these conditions here are good for him. It helps his serve a lot, so it will be a tricky match.
More questions, Blake? You've talked in the past that you've kind of struggled here, but since it's going to be the fifth time you've reached the quarterfinals, are you just getting more comfortable with have you been getting more comfortable with the conditions here this year, or is there something, a trend with your run here compared to the other times you've been successful at this tournament that's going on?
No, I mean, I think, one of the things that for me over the years is not necessarily been difficult, but people want to compare me to Roger or Rafa, and 5 quarterfinals is okay. It's not terrible, but because of what they've done, it doesn't look very good. But in comparison to other players and in other times, it's quite a good record. So, I have struggled here in previous years, and I think, even here, some of the guys have complained about how difficult they found the conditions. It's not easy here. There is often quite a few upsets at this event, because I don't think we play in these conditions much, so it's tricky. But this year I've managed to find a way to get through some matches. I've played some good tennis so far, and hopefully I keep it going.
Andy, you spent a long time looking to reach the or how did you see the difference between the four of you and the others?
I think, I mean, for myself, I always tried to just keep improving. I always tried to find ways to work a little bit harder. Was willing to change the way that I trained and try to work on new things in my game. Also, rather than viewing competing against them as as a negative, I tried to see it as a positive. Tried to learn from them and what they do well. And yeah, that's really been it for me. It's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication to compete with them. But yeah, it's not easy.
Andy, just a basic kind of question. Were you surprised by the Odysseus news, and why, one way or the other?
I don't really know whether I was surprised or not, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I just, if you were to cheat once, I don't see why. I don't know why on earth you would do it again. And I think the thing that's also disappointing is you hear I've learned from my mistake and blah 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 blah. But he's been linked to a number of people that have been involved in doping presently and in the past, and has surrounded himself with those people. So I can't say I'm surprised. But yeah, I can't believe it would. Yeah, I mean, to have three separate issues is ridiculous. So it's good that he's off the tour now.